Hi, I'm Pam, and today I'm reviewing Doom.
They are rage, brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear, until it is done.
The newest game in the Doom franchise was developed by id Software, published by Bethesda, and released on May 13th, 2016. It's available for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I played the PS4 version for this review. Doom is a first-person shooter where the protagonist battles demons from hell. These demons were unleashed by the UAC, who opened a portal to hell in order to channel its energy into a renewable energy source for Earth, as well as to research the demons who live there. How could that possibly go wrong? Doom offers a single-player campaign as well as multiplayer and Snap Map, where players can create and share their own levels. This review is going to focus on the single-player campaign. If I had to describe Doom in one word, it would be frenetic. Violent. Amazing. Well, that was more than one word. The game wastes no time. Within a minute of starting up the game, you've got a gun in your hand and are fighting the spawn of hell. There's no big cinematic to kick things off, no heavy exposition to tell you the situation. You wake up chained to an altar of some sort, immediately face off against your first demons, and the action almost never stops from there. It's relentless. The game controls took a little bit of getting used to. There's very little feeling of traction in the game. Not that it's slippery, but there's no resistance, no feeling of your gun or your character having any weight. You seem to float through the world with your feet never touching the ground. At first it was a bit awkward and it made me turn my aim sensitivity way down, but after a level or two, I began to appreciate it. It made everything faster, smoother. There's no worry of getting caught on terrain or plummeting to your death if you jump over a gap a little too early. The game will compensate and let you focus on what matters, shooting demons in the face. Once I got used to the weightlessness of the guns, they all handled well and were very suited for the necessity of shooting while moving. Strafing feels uniquely satisfying in this game. You're generally getting shot with things you can clearly see, like fireballs, as opposed to bullets, so strafe dodging is invaluable. The environments make use of vertical levels, so you can also use height to get the drop on enemies. While the thought of first-person platforming may not fill me with girlish delight, it's actually quite effortless and forgiving. The Doom Marine will grab onto any nearby ledges, and correct paths are marked with green lights. There are 8 regular weapons in-game, along with the chainsaw and the BFG. Weapons can be customized. Each has 2 different modifications, which will give you a special shot that's used with left trigger. They can also be leveled up. Each feels unique, and though I had my favorites, the shotguns and the plasma rifle, I found it best to get comfortable with all of them in case I ran out of ammo for my chosen weapons. You can also level up your suit to do things like give more protection or make it easier to find secrets. The unique mechanic in Doom is glory kills, which I read as gory kills for my first few hours in-game, which I think is understandable. Once a demon takes a certain amount of damage, they will be staggered and get a glowing visual effect to let you know that now's the time to get your hands dirty. Get up close and score an instant melee kill, which is not only visually impressive, but also makes you temporarily invulnerable and is guaranteed to drop health packs. Doom eschews many of the conventions of modern shooters. Having to hide behind cover, regenerating health, even manual reloading is something completely absent from the game. There are no cinematics, a lack of scripted events. There is a story there, but it's mostly told visually, in the way the Doom Marine reacts to what's going on, as well as in the codex. By taking mechanics back 20 years, Doom has provided the freshest first-person shooter I've ever played. You don't spend any time taking cover behind boxes, passively waiting for your health to increase. In Doom, the best defense is a good offense. Never stop moving, never stop shooting. When you're running low on health, the solution isn't to hide. It's to run up to a demon, riddle it with bullets, jam your fist into its chest, and rip out its heart. Then, you'll be showered in the gentle blue glow of health packs and some guts. Similarly, if you're finding yourself low on ammo, the best thing to do is whip out your trusty chainsaw and saw something demonic in half, which will result in a bounty of ammo. The game is gleeful in its violence. Every big fight is punctuated and enhanced by the presence of screaming heavy metal. The sounds of bone crunching and flesh tearing as you perform a glory kill is a visceral delight. In addition to rooms full of demons, the game also features a few big boss fights. At first, these seemed a little out of place, mechanics-wise. While constant movement and a series of glory kills could keep one alive through most encounters, boss fights work differently. Here, there were few health packs or ammo to keep you going. The bosses also had distinct patterns to learn, some of which even required time jumping and dodging of their attacks. They were a challenge, though a fun one. I was worried that the game would overstay its welcome, but I was just as excited to tackle level 12 as I was level 2. There are 13 levels in the game, taking place on Mars and in Hell. Though you do see some places more than once, there's usually enough of a change in them to keep things interesting. With the exception of one level that used portals and made me get lost more often than I liked, all the levels were really well designed. Enemies do not respawn, so once a level is cleared, the player is free to wander around and look for secrets. These could include collectible Doomarine figures, as well as extra power-ups for weapon and armor. Because of the nature of the map, finding secrets could be a bit of a platforming puzzle, which I enjoyed. Some of these secrets also involved gaining access to old-school-looking Doom levels. Rune Trials added extra challenges as well as practice for handling certain weapons or quick movement. Each had a goal that had to be completed in a set amount of time, and completing it would reward a rune that affected one of your abilities or gave a little bonus. Somewhat surprisingly, the game has some humor to it. Though the Doomarine never speaks, he makes his feelings known, cavalierly destroying equipment and ignoring those who want to tell him about the situation. He's here to kill demons, not listen to your nonsense. There's also humor to be found in the codex entries. Doom is a fast-paced, violent, absolute joyride of a game that had me feeling pumped for my entire 12-hour playthrough. I highly recommend it. Don't think too hard, just turn the lights down, the sound up, and rain some havoc on some demons. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.